this is amazing. I don't know. Fuck, I don't get to see your face too often, so I'm really glad we're here. But tell us about the podcast real quick before we jump in.
Well, before we jump in, we interviewed our new friends in the band Salvo.
Salvo.
You may have heard of them before under the name Pain. They're fantastic.
Yeah, and they're really good dudes. Dan is an author. Freaking Adam is a like a musician, like across the board. He's even coming out with a brand new album. But you'll have to stick around and listen to that to see when that's coming out. It's coming out real soon. So instead of talking about it, let's just get to the episode, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go listen.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. And today we have Adam and Dan from the band Salvo. Salvo is a horn-driven pop-punk band from Alabama. Adam and Dan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. And then for those of you who don't know from a little bit of history of Salvo, and we'll get into this in the podcast, but Salvo, Dan and Adam were in a band called Pain. If you guys ever remember Pain, they did the song Jabberjaw. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm messing with my headphones.
No, thanks, Pat. No, I appreciate
they went and disappeared right there.
The witty banter is what carries the show.
Honestly, truly.
I know, and I didn't participate at all.
Well, at least I have a very captive audience in myself. You know what I mean?
It's true. Before we get into, talking about like the past stuff, you guys did you just announced a new album called The Traveler.
Mm-hmm.
What can we expect from this new record?
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, it's our second album as Salvo, right? And we love that first album, right? Right, Adam?
Right.
We like that. We really love that first album. We put our hearts into it. But we always thought, almost immediately, we thought we can do better. We could do better. We could sharpen things up here and tighten this up over there, and we just felt like we were constantly getting better and more competent as songwriters. And so this album, this new one, we really feel like we I don't know. I'm trying not to sound goofy about it, but like we kind of
go as goofy as possible. Go for it.
And so. I don't know. To me, it just sounds really, really good. I think the songs we just sound. I don't know. We sound like we've written some really cool original songs that they don't sound derivative of Pain, and they don't sound like we're trying too hard to stay cool.
The songs kind of speak for themselves.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I think. What do you think, Adam?
I agree with you.
Good.
That's it.
Awesome. No, Dan, you and I are really gonna sync up.
We're gonna connect.
Yeah, we're gonna connect. I enjoy this.
I think we're at the top of our game right now. I think this is the album we were supposed to make, and this is where we are in our lives. And it's just I couldn't be prouder of an album and of a group of people that we recorded this with.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that as our physical bodies begin to degrade, our songwriting is going up.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
You hear that, everybody? All you have to do is stop worrying about trying to fit in a window to make good music. Just fucking do it. There's this, and we've talked about it before on the podcast, but there's this myth that you have a window between like 18 and 30 to either make it famous or give up on that and get a job.
Yeah. And Adam and I were both, we unconsciously, I think, kind of carried around that same bias as well. I mean, one of the things that I know, Adam, it bothered me a little bit. It's like, should we even be doing this? I mean, we are kind of old now, and you know what I mean? We wrestled a little bit with the idea that maybe we should not be doing this, but we got over that, right, Adam?
Yeah, I was walking away from music altogether. I'd kept doing stuff the other years, but here and there. But I was done, and then Dan called me, and I completely just I couldn't be more thankful for that, because I've discovered that I really enjoy writing and creating with my partner.
Yeah. So what kind of opportunities are you guys seeing for Salvo right now? Like, I mean, you're about to release a new record called The Traveler, so make sure you guys are looking out for that. But what opportunities are there for Salvo right now? I mean, we're just kind of giving over this pandemic. It's still actually happening, but like, what does that look like for you guys in terms of a career?
If you have any suggestions, we're all ears.
Well,
we have
okay,
a show.
So part of what you guys give is a really cool perspective is you've been there, you've done that, but now you're doing something new. You're doing Salvo something new, and you guys, like it or not, or make jokes about it or not, your age is a great example of the fact that you can still do it, and like you don't have to fucking stress about making it in this window. You don't have to bank all of your success, all of your worth, your self-worth into the fact that if you don't make it by 30, you're a failure.
Right.
You know, and because it's huge. I used to feel that when I was younger. It took me years to get over that and just realizing, dude, some of my favorite bands, these are 60-year-old dudes just like singing about their wives. Like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
so like what kind of perspective does that give you guys, and what can you tell us and tell the listeners?
I can tell you that we plan on to keep having birthdays, so and without making a joke, I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And if I stop now and say, well, I'm too old now, I'm going to be a lot older in 2 years, and 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So we feel like doing it right now, and we enjoy doing it right now, and we're doing it then. And at a certain point, those questions kind of just fell apart. Dan and I think when Dan contacted me about doing this, it was to put out an album of new material that he had. And I was like, why don't we do one show? And that was it. And now we're trying to book everywhere we can, and we have one coming up that we'll tell you about. And because we enjoy playing live still. We do.
Yeah.
We could do the thing where we just make albums, and I'd be really satisfied with that. But we are still a live band, and the name change. We'll talk about that too. But it's liberating as hell that we don't have to. We can be as respectful as we can to our former material and our former name, and at the same time, we can do whatever we want as long as that we are, we're proud of it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I guess diving on into that. So many of our listeners may not know, but for those that use it, don't Salvo was formerly known as Pain. You changed your name after about a 19-year hiatus.
Yeah.
Can you tell our listeners a bit about what prompted that hiatus and kind of about that triumphant return?
I make up jokes all the time, so I've spread rumors like crazy for years. That's become the lore now. I just told everybody that Dan became a monk, and then nobody asked me any more questions after that. It's not true, but
so for any of those listeners out there, if you've ever had Adam tell you that Dan became a monk, he was lying to your face.
I also live in Mississippi with several children, and I've seen that one. No, it's really hard being in a band. It's really difficult doing these 5 bucket of blanket tours for years.
Right.
Or how well you're doing. It's just, there's 8 people, and I think the guitar player for Soundgarden talked about it a lot. Said they were together for 10 years, and I don't think people said the stress of that. We love each other, and we did. It's just there came a time that things just needed to change, and it did.
Absolutely.
So we just
and there was a kernel of truth to the monk thing. I really that was, I think, the really big catalyst for the break was that I needed some time to see if I was maybe gonna live out the rest of my life like as a monk, as like a Franciscan kind of a monk, you know what I mean? I don't know, it was important to me to at least consider it, so I did for a while, but it wasn't it. That wasn't for me. And that's okay, I don't see that as like a mistake or something. You know what I mean? It's, sometimes you just have to go down a certain corridor to see what's there. I mean, there's just nothing, no other, nothing else you can do. So I did, and I think that helped me grow it too, because I think on the other side of that, I learned how to not let music be this all-consuming obsession, which I think y'all were just talking about a little bit. It is not healthy for it to be this thing that I just dump my whole soul into, you know. I don't think that's good. So instead I learned how to put other people first a little more, and in doing that, that kind of got me ready to do what Adam and I are doing now. Now I feel like I can actually perform music and write music, but always with, and instead of thinking about me, I'm thinking more about Adam. I'm thinking about the other people in the band. I'm thinking about fans more, you know? And I think that's what's so healthy about Salvo. I love it because our fans are so positive and so receptive. And I just feel like our mission is just make them happy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and not in a catering way, but more in a
no. But I don't know. It kind of feels like family almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
put in effort to people you care about.
Yeah. That's it. That's very well put. That's how I feel.
They want us to be true to ourselves, and that's what we're doing. And at the same time, we are aware of our past. So
when
it comes to songs in the new album, we have some that rival tempos of the old stuff. Then we have explorations the way we always did, with just different beats, different types of music that we did underneath that pop punk with orange genre. But
so I have a question about, and we don't want to talk about pain too much because this is a Salvo podcast, guys. Come on, we're going to we're here to promote Salvo.
I'm so glad to hear that.
But you know, like you had talked about, there's no sense in like denying the past. It is what brought you to where you are today. So with Salvo, did you ever, discussing between the two of you, think that maybe, like, I don't know if I want to ride off the coattails of the success of Pain? You know, did that ever like cross your mind? Like, how do I separate myself from what was arguably a very successful band? How do I go about doing something new without having to conform to what we used to do or to live up to a name that we used to play as? How did you guys battle that?
I think Dan was more independent about it, or about saying we looked at the set list, for example, and it kind of had the same MO as far as what we did with Pain. Was like, well, we have these new songs, let's just go play the new songs and throw in some ones that were standards for us, kind of. But I was probably the holdout more than anybody. Trying to keep the FKA Pain in there, just because we basically, for me, I still want the following to know that we exist,
right?
And this didn't happen exactly. We did delivery, so let's just change the name to Salvo and confuse everybody, and it's just turned out to be a blessing that way.
Yeah,
and that I really appreciate now. But if we look at our set list that we're going into, the certain shows, it's like, well, we have 3 Pain songs in the set list. It's like, well, then we start saying, no, we like these old songs too.
Yeah.
And we like playing them. So, I mean, for example, if we do a show, it's probably going to be half and half. Because we have enough material of Salvo now to do that with.
Right.
But to stand on our own, it was a little scary because we opened the thing as a Pain reunion Salvo premiere.
Right.
And that's essentially what it was. And
sorry.
No, but just we have so many original members that were from that band. And we have new faces too that appreciate the music and stuff. But
and from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense. But, but only from that, you know, because you're not sitting here trying to be Pain. You're not sitting here trying to ride the success of your old band.
Only that's true. At the same time, we didn't want to disrespect them or ignore the fact that what we're doing now is built on that structure, on the
right.
pain structure built on that. And I mean, of course, we love that, and so there still is a little bit of a tug of war, at least in my mind, where it's like I really want to just totally break loose and say we're just doing Salvo songs, but at the same time, I know people really want to hear like Milk or something, or Fight, or one of our Pain songs that
right.
always that were always such crowd pleasers, and so you hate to let them down. I don't want to let them down. I want them
absolutely
to hear that,
Dan, you put it so perfectly just a few minutes ago. It's about the fans. That's I mean, they're literally what got you to where you are now. Why ignore that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I don't know. I remember, I can't even remember what the band was. Who is this band? I don't know. I was like reading some random article about a band, and they were sort of in our position, right, where they had transitioned, and their particular philosophy was they played some of their old stuff, and then they just made an announcement. Okay, this is going to be the last time we play all that old stuff, and now then we're going to be done, and we're moving forward with the new stuff. And I thought, well, that we should do something like that too. That's a cool idea, but ultimately, I don't know. Adam and I haven't been able to do that. It didn't seem right.
Yeah,
but you just got to do what feels right. Exactly what you just said. What feels right.
After taking 19 years off, these songs feel really fresh again.
Perspective does give, or time gives a really good perspective on things.
It's really fun to make sure that we can, if we can't play them at the same tempos or just as tight as we used to, then we're not going to do them.
Right.
Fair enough.
But if we can enjoy doing what we did, we played the song "Fuck Said Julie," which I think we played twice when we were together as Pain, and now it's one of my favorite songs that we do.
Absolutely,
I finally know how to play it. So,
so one of the things I'm very curious about, because I've never got to encounter something like this. So one of the most notable songs that you guys did was the Jabberjaw Groovie for Cartoon Network. So like, what was that experience like, writing a song for a cartoon and then like the reception after it was released?
Take it, Dan.
Yeah. I remember when the people, the suits from Cartoon Network approached us. They were already Pain fans, and they were describing it. We're making a commercial for Jabberjaw, which obviously already existed from the way back, and they wanted us to write this song for it, and I jumped right into writing the song. And I mean, it's not an incredibly complex song, but it's very catchy.
It's fun though.
But it's fun, right? And and really enjoyed making the song. But I also remember feeling kind of almost a little bit flippant about it. But it was great because they wrote us a big old fat juicy check for it, like we had never seen like that many digits before.
Yeah,
I mean we were used to playing for like dinner or something,
right?
Like, so it was gratifying, and it was fun, but like I said, I was kind of flippant about it. I was like, okay, we did it, there, we got our check, that was fun, thank you, goodbye. And I ignored it, right, Adam? I mean, I kind of ignored it. I remember when I came back, Adam, I think it was you who pointed out, and you were like, man, you do know that like on YouTube or whatever, there's like 1 million views or I don't know how many, I can't remember. I was like, what? That song, really?
Well, it's weird because we had a DJ in Atlanta that broke us in Atlanta. And so it got played. We get played in drive time, Atlanta. And that's where Cartoon Network was based out of. I think we were in LA, right? And I love to say we were in LA, but we were in LA, and I just touring. And then we got a phone call from Atlanta that Cartoon Network wanted us to do a song. Dan wrote actually 2 different songs for that. One became another song on the album.
I did? Really? I forgot about that.
Yeah. White Recluse.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then we went to Elmore, Alabama, where Man or Astroman records stuff with Jim Moore, Zero Return, in a shack by the railroad tracks in a town that has hog brains and 3 different types of gravy. It's just funny that there's nothing glamorous about this whatsoever. And that song got recorded there along with all the other Pain stuff. And I was on my couch one night. I didn't have cable for the longest time, and I've moved and I had cable, and the Cartoon Network was on, and the video came on, and it's animated, and thought, how about that? That's kooky. That's the year 2000.
It's not every day you're on Cartoon Network, though. Let's be honest.
And now we have a fan base, a following that knows us from that song. Maybe that song.
Right.
And I am just floored. I mean, I released a video of. We released a video of just putting the cassette tape the VHS of Jabberjaw into a VCR and playing that, and I guess anyway, I can't. It's a fun song to play now, guys.
Yeah, I'll bet. So, and I mean, because just even the, however many years later, we did a TikTok, and just sharing the Jabberjaw, video, and 41,000 views on it, and and seeing how many people were so excited and were so just ecstatic, especially once you all started talking to them in there about, oh, we're still around, and they're that was exciting just to see
Absolutely. That. And not only that, but to see that there's still people not that the people are still listening, but connecting with the community you didn't realize was there. I think that's something that's really cool, especially about TikTok now and the ability to connect on social media. Is connecting with a community you didn't know existed. There are people out there who share, for me, that was my childhood, right? So I'm 27. So when the Jabberjaw Groovies came out, I was still in high school, I believe, and watching Cartoon Network. That I remember that shit. But growing up, I'm nobody remembers that shit. That's just me. Right. But now we have access to literally everyone on the planet. And you're realizing, oh my God, this had so much more of an impact on people's childhoods and not just mine. This is fucking cool.
I over the years, I've gotten a fairly steady, I mean, not avalanche, but fairly steady stream of nice emails, from fans and things. And invariably, it's pretty emotional, because invariably they always want to just say, you really, your stuff means so much to me because it got me through a hard time. You know what I mean? They were suffering quietly, silently in some way, or going through some traumatic time that no one would even know. And then they get through it in part. And we can't take too much credit, you know what I mean? But
you were
in part because they could every now and then reach over and press whatever button they used to make this stupid song come out and give them some kind of joy or comfort that gets them through to the next day. I mean, that's awesome. And it was something that I constantly forget. And so I love it when fans tell us that kind of stuff,
awesome.
Even with this big show that's coming up in September, our album release show for the new album for the Traveler. One of the guys who was helping to organize it was telling me that he asked us, he said, could you please play Chuck Al Hashib? Now, Chuck Al Hashib was a Pain song from back in the day, a very silly, cartoony kind of hero theme song about character. I don't know if you remember this song, fellas, but just silly song about this Middle Eastern hero who avenges his brother's death, right? Okay. I didn't put a lot of thought into, I'm going to write the lyrics that will inspire a generation and help lift them out of their common misery. I wasn't thinking at all. I was thinking of a stupid song, and Adam thought it was fun, and we just played it. It was just silly and recorded it. But in its own way, this song helped this guy get through some horrible background that involved drug addicted parents and poverty, extreme poverty. And he got through it because he and his friend would just get together sometimes, commiserate, and play Chuck Halashib in the background. That's amazing to me. That's amazing to me. So of course I said we will absolutely play that song at the show. Yeah. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dust off that silly thing and play it.
I love that I love that about music is that any song can have an impact on somebody, whether it's
and it's so personal.
Whether it's made to be like deep and personal and incredibly meaningful, or it can be funny, because even if something's fun and funny, maybe that just takes that person out for just 3 minutes.
And of course, I don't know why I would be surprised by that, because of course I have so many songs in my own life by people who don't even know I exist, but I love their stuff. And they've gotten me through those kinds of things. So I guess I do understand. It's just always weird to think, wow, Adam and we're the ones who made this song, that they like, that got them through that. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. So here's a question. Is it true that you were shut down mid-song by the band Train?
No.
Yeah.
That was true.
How'd you find out about that?
Well,
we have our ways.
I guess you do. Never mind. I won't ask that question again. Step back up for a second, though, when Dan was talking about the songs, and
of course,
none of these songs ever felt trivial to us, But so we'll say it felt like a dumb song or a silly song. It's like if someone cares that much about it, I guess it's not really a silly or a dumb song,
Absolutely. That's a good point, man.
I'm still amazed, by the way, back to Jabberjaw, the fact that you could write those lyrics and said the song had to be 1:48 seconds to the dot, or something like that. And then you almost had help from the Suits, and, which was like, but I love that's something like that I don't know. I was still in awe of some of the things that you wrote and stuff like that. That you go, it's lighthearted. But if it's silly, it's such a good,
everything has its time and its place.
And Train's example of I wish I'd had their manager, so to fire him. No, it was one of those deals where we were playing the local stage and they're playing on the non-local stage.
What show was that, Adam?
Was the last city stages
in Birmingham?
People remember that show in Birmingham, and I don't have fond memories of it. I think we could have played better personally. I could have played better, but we just said, please don't put us on the local stage, because it's the same company that runs the other places we play out the region, and they always put us on that other stage. But because we're locally from Alabama, that's where they put us. Sure. And we said, we know what's going to happen, man. We're going to headline, and sure enough, we're going to get cut off, and that's exactly what happened. So Train may be the best band in the world and have songs that bring my family to tears, but
you'll never forget.
I'll leave it at
that. I love Train.
I have no problem.
But I will never forget.
I don't know. It sucked.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a good chance they have no idea that happened.
They have those guys have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like we're sitting here like
the problem is they're gonna be listening to this and they're gonna be like, oh, I remember that those sons of bitches.
Those sons of bitches. Well, okay, but so I mean, being a TM, like being a tour manager, I could tell you how many things never made it to the artists I've worked for.
Kind of your job, right?
Yeah, it's just like, okay, yeah, you can tell me all about it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let him know. Like I don't care about you. I'm tired. So I'm sitting here like Train has it's probably like super super nice, but you guys for like the better half of 20 years have just resented this band for something they probably have no idea that they've ever done, just because some manager was like, yeah, you're gonna have to shut it down.
No, actually, a friend of mine knew their manager and did talk about it. It was all the manager, because he had to make sure his band got their full time and screen time.
He's just doing his job.
It's the fun part of festivals sometimes where
you remember in Grosse Pointe Blank. Remember in Grosse Pointe Blank when John Cusack goes to the reunion and there's that one dude who is carrying this big chip on his shoulder towards John Cusack's character. You remember? And John Cusack doesn't even remember him. John Cusack has gone on to this very illustrious career as a mercenary, you know, and at one point the guy's like staring him down in the hallway, and John Cusack's character just says, "There is no you and me. There I don't even know you," you know. And I think Train would probably say the same. They're like the John Cusack.
They're the John Cusack in the story.
Right.
Honestly, that tracks. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
So before we move on to our next segment, we have a couple more questions. These are more like personalized just to you individually. So first off with Dan, so along with also being, you know, musician, you're also an author.
So
you've
I forgot about that.
So you've written 3 books titled By the Downward Way, From a Dark Way Over, and A Fantastic Confluence, all part of the Von Kippersmith saga. What made you want to be an author, and what exactly are the books? What's the series about?
Wow. They are, it kind of falls, it's kind of like with the music. It's sort of like, I'm going to do this and I have no idea if anybody really cares, but you have to do it, you know? And so and so it started with 1 book and just grew into 3 books. It's basically like a fantasy thriller kind of thing. I don't know. It's about a guy with a curse. He's cursed because his dad committed suicide, and all the males in his family had some kind of screwed up behavior in their lives. They were just not. They ended up being really bad fathers. Like they would abandon their families, and it just kept happening generation after generation. And this guy, the lead character, grows up very painfully aware of that, and he wants to figure out how to break the curse. And so that leads to ghosts and demons and a lost island with some abandoned children on it, and there's like fantastic creatures and all kinds of craziness.
Sounds wild.
I think it's really good, and
I'm gonna have to get my hands on that.
18
like
people who have
right
actually read those books really like them.
Well, it sounds exactly like stuff I'd like to read.
Yeah,
so.
cool. I'm gonna have to get my hands on that saga.
Thank you.
Adam, here's one for you.
Okay.
You also have a solo album titled Stars that comes out July 1st.
Yeah.
That's pretty stellar. Talk to us about that for just a second, but only a second because we got to keep moving.
July 1st, Stars.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so next question. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Good. Tell us about Stars.
My wife wanted me to do some songs that just weren't Salvo songs that I've had. I'm a songwriter that I just I played a lot of different bands the past few years and written for a lot of different genres. So I picked one, and that wasn't Salvo, and it's coming out. Though 8 songs. I think the thing clocks in at 23 minutes. So
is that coming out everywhere?
Do what?
Is that coming out everywhere? Spotify, Apple Music?
Yeah, sure is. It's coming July 1st.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
And what kind of genre is it then?
It's somewhere between pop punk and Americana.
Okay.
Americana's that really kind of a lazy title, I think. Just covers everything that you just there's something that sounds kind of country, there's a ballad, there's a folk.
Okay.
It's like the Eagles meets pop punk.
Yeah, there you yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah,
that actually, I mean, like that's still like Americana meets pop punk. That had me intrigued, so I'm gonna listen to that.
Bear's gonna have that.
Wait,
July 1st.
When I get these names, I get these genre things from having to file it on a CD baby and say, "Well, how would you describe your music?"
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like me. I don't know.
Pat and I had the same conversation when we were at So What Music Festival, where we're talking about how if it wasn't country, rap, R&B, rock, or metal, it was called alternative. I'm just sitting here like, everything's alternative, I guess. These options suck.
We won't get deep into that story, but it started out with me just calling him a son of a bitch and being really mad at him.
It was really funny. You son of a bitch. And then I was like, what?
Yeah. Okay.
It all worked out.
So before we move on to our next segment, if you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting out, what would that be?
Okay. Okay.
Are you looking for notes? You have notes on that, Adam?
I'm looking around.
I wrote that down.
I knew he was going to ask
for the phone. Yeah, I don't know. I feel very God. You guys see the show Life's Too Short with Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant?
Yes.
When Warwick Davis asked him about advice on his love life. And Ricky Gervais looks at Stephen Merchant. He goes, "I just think in those times you should do what you think you should do best." You know, and I don't have advice. Advice do do your own time. I think I can do what you want to do.
Yeah,
I don't have anything to Dan help.
That's good though. Do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do.
Follow your dreams.
But make sure it's you. You know,
like you said, put in the time, put in the work, and put in the effort.
It took me years to sound like somebody else for a change, and so
I don't know that I could say anything that Whitney.
Oh my
Houston
God! Real quick, he
said.
refilled his Guinness.
Yeah, I did.
Look at this man. He refilled his Guinness.
Yeah, it's never ending thought over here.
That's my boy. I'm sorry, Dan. Continue.
I got my Irish wish.
I don't know. I remember Adam and I had a conversation where we were talking about at least the songs for this album, maybe the first one too, Adam.
Yeah.
Where I just said, you know what I don't want to do? I don't want to write advice songs. Have you ever noticed how like aging musicians, they feel almost like a burning need to write advice songs, you know, like I just remember like Billy Joel got to like suddenly he's writing songs about, okay, here's how you younger generation need to live out your lives. And Rod Stewart like had a song about, I don't know, like how to, and I just thought, I don't want to do that. And so like for The Traveler, we specifically said, let's make it an album about songs that are kind of like story songs, just a story about somebody that you meet. You know what I mean? So that it doesn't have to go back on ourselves to feel like we need to explain the universe to everybody, you know?
Absolutely.
And so now I think I've tried so hard to stick to that pattern that I'm a little rusty on giving advice.
That's good advice.
That's good advice right there. That's good advice. All right.
Except guys, my own children, I guess.
That's fair. All right. So this has been Salvo. Okay. We're going to get on to our next segment here. But guys, this is Salvo. Their new album was just announced. It's called The Traveler. If you don't know Salvo, you're not doing life right. So go over to any of their social media, follow them. They're going to be releasing a brand new album. They have a show coming up in September. So if you're in the Alabama area, this is going to be perfect for you guys. And we're going to take a quick break before we get into our next segment, and we'll be right back with Salvo.
Do you love music videos and miss when MTV, VH1, and Fuse all actually played music videos? Then join me, Giddy, as I host a super awesome music video show on Twitch every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Unsigned Pop Punk Twitch channel. We play the best videos from up-and-coming pop-punk, emo, alternative music in the scene, so join us every Thursday and find your new favorite band.
And we're back with Salvo. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Dan, Adam, this is an absolute pleasure, but we're done with music. Come on now. Like, let's get on to let's get down to the really important things called obscure questions. This is our segment where we basically just ask you obscure things and you have to answer them.
Yeah. Now
it's a must.
The first half's all about your career in music. Second half is where we just, we get a little goofball.
Just torture.
And we got the next 10 minutes.
I don't think maybe.
We got 10 more minutes before we're gonna let you guys get out of here, get back to your lives. So we're gonna have some fun with these. I'm gonna take the first question, Pat.
Go for it.
What is you guys' biggest pet peeve?
Toenails? No.
Toenails?
Toenails?
This is
I mean, I can get behind it. I really can.
Like, I'm not mad about this answer. I just wasn't expecting it,
Pet peeve.
Oh, this can't be that hard, Dan. Come on.
Wow.
I like to gripe with a smile.
Let me think.
If this is the lightning round, we were so screwed.
Yeah, I know.
No, lightning round's next. Next segment.
Pet peeves.
Well, our biggest
I
pet
don't
peeve
know.
right now is being able to.
Yeah, my biggest pet peeve is not
on
knowing what
social.
people or not being able to tell people that what your pet peeve is. That's my biggest pet peeve right now, right here in this
I'm
moment.
a big-
that's right. Sadistic torture is my pet peeve.
Oh, that's my
I-
kink. I don't.
See,
Oh,
I mean,
we are
I'm-
two very different people.
I have a problem with snoring, listening to people snore. Like I just can't do it.
This is why
It's-
Pat and I get along really well.
we're very lucky because Bear does not snore.
I used to have tonsils the size of freaking golf balls. Used to be awful. All right, Pat, go ahead. Take the next question.
Okay. So when you were a child,
Mhm.
what did you want to be originally when you grew up?
Older.
Batman.
Batman? I'm
Yeah.
in it. Sold.
I'll go with that one. That's good.
Batman? That's
It was absolutely Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
that's fair.
All right,
I wanted to be a police officer.
see,
actually.
I did too. And then I looked at my brother and was like, if you ever commit a crime and I have to pull a gun on you, I will break down mentally. And that's the thought that I had at 10 years old. So far too young to be thinking that.
Right.
I'm dead ass. I remember when I thought that too.
I could just like almost picture you just talking to your brother though and be like, if you commit a crime, I will shoot you. I will.
Dun, dun, Law and
I'm
Order.
not scared to do it.
All right, last
Move on.
question. What is one thing you thoroughly love or enjoy that you would think people would not expect?
I was about to say the gym, but
Well, if that's real.
no one's gonna see that coming for me for a little while.
Okay, for example, for me, I love listening to Marty Robbins.
Oh, okay,
Like,
yeah, I see where you're going with
Like,
this.
Yeah, it could be music, it could be
anything,
really anything.
but like, I just love listening to Big Iron. You know, like
Yeah, you
they
should
tried
listen to
much
a lot of Marty
stranger
Robbins.
with the big iron on his hip, and you're just like,
Yeah,
I'm in a
Yeah.
western right now.
I'm a big Mel Torme fan, and no one ever
Okay,
appreciates my
yeah.
Mel Torme fanship.
I
don't know
bought the
why.
last
I think
three
he's
Neil Diamond
amazing.
albums.
What was that?
I bought the last three Neil Diamond albums, the last three new Neil Diamond albums before he got sick.
Mm.
There.
Oh, okay. Neil Diamond, nice.
So
I'm-
musically, I can talk about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so that works. I mean, everybody's got guilty pleasures, you know, especially with music. Like mine's Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Yep.
Fucking, I love that it's
All
Taylor
right.
Swift too.
It's okay.
I've picked up on that. There
I
is
like
an
Taylor.
underground stream of Taylor Swift fans that you would not think would be Taylor
Mm.
Swift fans. I've picked up on that.
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. There's only one song that I genuinely like by Taylor Swift, and it's called Coney Island. And the only
Yeah.
reason why I like that song is because it has the vocalist from the band The National on it.
I took
Ah.
I took my daughter to go see Taylor Swift, and that
No,
was
your daughter
mostly for
took
me.
you to. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say your
It was mostly
daughter
for
took.
me.
You needed an excuse to go. That's what that was. Like, hey, Taylor Swift is in town. You want to go, darling? All right, you guys did it. We're gonna introduce our brand new. That's not brand new. Who cares?
It's not brand new.
Brand new
It's
to you.
literally from the start.
It's literally from the start. What am I talking about? Pat, introduce our next segment for our dear friends.
You kind of broke me a little bit
I
there.
broke myself.
So this
let's be honest.
this is our lightning round. This is
Uh-huh.
rapid fire question segment. Don't worry. It's multiple choice. So you're good. You
Oh,
just
multiple choice. Okay,
Yeah.
I do well on those.
yes, it's multiple choice. Just
All of
speak
the
from-
above.
Yeah, just speak from the heart and shoot from the hip. It's not all the above type one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you guys ready? Coke
Yeah.
or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
non-alcoholic.
No,
Guinness.
Adam. No. Yeah, we've never discussed this. Is that true?
I haven't had Pepsi in 10 years.
You prefer Pepsi over Coke, though.
I like Buffalo Rock Diet Ginger Ale. So
here's the
wait a minute. That's
Coke is
you
fine.
do that? Is that part of the life? I thought it was like an either or situation.
I mean, he changed the rules, so you go for it.
Okay, well, I'll go with Coke then. We're going to go with Coke.
You're like Captain Kirk. You just like reinvented the whole scenario and
we ask
beat
a
the
question?
unbeatable game.
Should Dan and I be on the same page?
No,
this is the best part of rapid fires.
Yeah,
this is where bands
entirely
break up
about
over
divide.
this stuff.
We're trying to create division between you. Like, we hope there's an argument by the end of this podcast. You know what I mean?
All right.
But so Dan, speaking of the Kobayashi Maru,
Yes.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Ooh. I overall I go with Star Wars. Adam, I bet you do too, don't you, man?
I do. I mean,
But
yeah. If I was,
I'm such a fan now of the Chris Pine new
Yep.
reboot,
And
J.J.
I'm
Abrams
getting
thing.
back into Star Trek.
Yeah.
And then I'm also like not with Pat because Pat is already like a couple more
Well
years
past.
ahead, well past. But I'm watching the new Picard show.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
So good.
So I'm slowly becoming both because I was a diehard Star Wars and only Star Wars, but now I'm like, opening my mind a little bit.
I think they're two different genres. I think
It's-
it's
one's
completely
is
different.
One is like a space odyssey. The other is a space exploration. One is like a drama, and the other, I mean, they're both dramas, but one is like about a galactic conquest and heroes, and the other is about like exploration and human and finding humanity in everything.
Star Trek is so much more philosophical.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. All right, keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay.
I might have
Mario?
2 kids burst in here in the near future.
Yeah.
Mario or Luigi?
Doing what?
Oh my God! Each other. I don't know what to
The
tell
people?
you.
Some qualification.
them.
That's all I'm asking for. A little qualification.
Yeah. Do you prefer? If you were going to play Mario, are you going to be Mario or Luigi?
I remember with Super Mario 2, I would often choose to be Luigi because
Absolutely.
he could do this floating thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he jumped.
Mhm.
Other than that, I'm more of a Mario guy.
Sure.
Okay. This one's not multiple choice, but I have faith that you guys one of you can do this. Can one of you, or both at the same time, sing us the Bagel Bites jingle?
Ooh. What is the Bagel Bites jingle? The Bagel Bites jingle is all I can think of is Hot Pockets. It's not Hot Pockets.
It's
Bagel
not Hot
Bites. What is Adam, do you know?
Bagel bites.
That's it.
Bagel
That's
bites.
it. Your
Nailed
mind
Yeah,
is
well, Pat, you know
razor
what you
sharp.
have to do.
If you guys can't do it, I have to do it.
You
So
gotta every
Yes.
time.
You have to do it.
pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time.
Yes.
When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
I always think it's every
Bagel bites.
time.
Bagel Bites.
Well done. Well done.
It's kind of like the Addams Family. Bagel Bites.
Bagel bites.
Okay, we got 3 more. Gwen Stefani or Haley Williams?
Wait, so what? Say that again.
Gwen Stefani or Haley Williams?
I'm ignorant. I don't know. I know Gwen. You know.
Then
Who
you
is
can
Haley
pick one.
Williams?
Have you ever heard of
So-
the band Paramore?
Oh, okay.
Yep, they're
Cool.
the
Haley Williams?
Haley Williams is Paramore, no doubt. Gwen Stefani.
No. I'm kind of choosy.
Dude,
I don't know if I like either one of them.
almost gone.
You don't have to like either of them. That's okay.
I like
I
Halsey a
don't have to
lot.
like everybody. I don't have to like everybody.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't
You
have
could
to
say,
like
you could
anybody.
say neither. Who gives a fuck?
I like Halsey. Can we talk about Halsey's new album?
Oh
That's
my
good.
God.
Oh,
I love Halsey.
Yeah.
So if you've just so you know, if you've watched our show, or well, especially if you've watched it, so we have these things that will pop up on each side. And if you make a different choice, I will pop up with the other choice in the middle. So Halsey will be popping up.
Boom, Halsey it is.
Okay, hard shell or soft shell tacos?
Mm.
I like hard shell.
I like soft shell, but I've been trying to kind of reduce the amount of gluten in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I've been going for like hard shell corn stuff.
I like your reasoning, but Adam, you're fucking wrong, dude. Like, Dan, I understand now after you so eloquently put it, but Adam, you went straight for the hard shell, dude. It's gonna get inside your gums. Like, you bite down and you're like, shit, now that's stuck in there for 3 hours.
I didn't get my receipt.
I've actually this has happened twice in my life where I've bitten into a hard shell taco and the edge of it stabbed into my gums, opened a wound that became infected, and I had to go get an antibiotic.
Oh, that's
happened twice.
That's so sad.
Are you rethinking your gluten intake now?
Because I would seriously just
that was a mistake.
I'd be sitting there going, tacos, how can you do this to me? I thought we were closer than this.
Blood just dripping down your mouth like tacos.
Yeah, I should just go with the soft taco and just let it like a larva just crawl inside my mouth. There's no danger.
You could do like taco bowl,
That's true. Yeah,
that's true.
All right, last one. Sum 41 or yellow card. Do you listen to either of them?
Did you say Sum 41?
Sum 41. I did say Sum 41.
Is Halsey in Sum 41?
It can but Halsey can pop up right in the middle.
One of those Sum 41 guys went on to become this huge like UFO enthusiast guy. Did you?
That's Blink-182.
Mm-hmm. That's Tom
DeLonge. Oh. He's the man.
So the Sum 41 guys are really short. They're short guys, Yeah.
Are they?
I think they're normal height guys.
No, they're short.
They're all short.
They're all super short, especially the lead singer. They're short as hell.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah,
they have the song
"In
Too Deep." Because I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep. This is for the listeners. All the blood in my head. No, I'm gonna keep going. Instead of going on. Okay.
Good job. Proud of you.
So Halsey wins.
I love that you're picking pop punk genres that we know nothing about.
That was
our own genre.
It's called education.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, you guys did it. You made it through the podcast. Congratulations. If we had cookies, I would send them your way, but alas, we do not.
No, we discussed that cookies sending cookies through the mail was just never going to happen.
Especially during a pandemic.
Does it matter that we did so poorly?
Yeah. You did great.
There is no you're not graded. Bear used to grade people in the very beginning.
But there are like various popular bands now, like some Blink-182 and Gwen Stefani. They're all going to contact us outrage with all our responses.
I know, because all of them watch our show and they're going to be like, those poop faces.
Those poopy faces.
Yeah.
Look at those clean-shaven poopy faces. That's weird. All right, guys. Well, you did it. We want to give you guys the floor. We want to give you guys an opportunity to share what you guys have got going on, especially with Salvo. Guys, once again, Salvo just is about to release a brand new record called it's called The Traveler. The Traveler. I was going to say like The Teller. Well, it's not The Teller.
Nope.
It's like The Traveler. Tell us about that. The floor is yours. Go.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh, let's see. We talked about that a little bit. That's just the second big Salvo album. It's kind of a concept thing because it tells the story of a dude, a traveler who goes out to try and learn more about himself, learn about the world, and along the way he meets various interesting people, and each of the songs on the album are meant to kind of be characters that he meets along the way, and by the end of it he's a better person because of those experiences. And it's also a rock album.
The songs are standalones as well.
It's music too, by the way. I feel like I'm kind of like
we're releasing a single July 15th. Anything Can Happen Day. Releasing
what was it called? Go again.
Anything Can Happen Day.
Okay.
Anything Can Happen Day is our first single. And we're just happy we haven't released anything since 2019, since the world shut down. So we're really really excited about doing this, and we have a show to celebrate the release of The Traveler. And Dan is Winston-Salem, September 3rd.
September 3rd,
Winston-Salem.
Yeah,
North Carolina.
North Carolina. They're going to shut down the street and have a big street party and kiddie pools and rock and roll karaoke and Salvo. And just a really, really good time. So we want to invite all our friends from Philly and neighboring states,
or anyone that wants to fly on down
to go to see Salvo. Guys, it's going to be amazing. Thank you guys so much again for being on the podcast. This has been another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. And we have our brand new friends, Adam and Dan from Salvo. Guys, thanks again for being here. And for all you listeners out there, make sure that you follow us. Give us a rating. You guys can rate us on Spotify. That'd be pretty legit. You can rate us on Apple Podcasts. You can pretty much rate us anywhere. I don't know about Deezer, but you can give that a go. You can also get, if you want to support the podcast and support what we do here at Unsigned Pop Punk, you can visit us at our Patreon, which I believe is www.patreon.com/unsigned pop punk. Guys, that would mean the absolute world to us. There's a bunch of exclusives that you can get on there. We do the show before the show podcast. We do a bunch of brand new things, early accesses, all sorts of really cool stuff. Make sure to follow us there. Guys, once again, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. Thank you to those who already are. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere else you stream your podcast. If you're in the position to help us grow, head over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/unsignedpoppunk. Let us know in the comments below who you'd like to see on the show and what other content you'd like to see. Thanks so much.